Hi, I'm Caleb. I'm 23 and I drive a 2014 Chevy SS sedan. I've always been into cars. My dad, growing up, my dad's first car was a 1965 maroon Mustang. So we've always talked about that. Now, my dad had to sell it when he had his first kid, so that's kind of the reason why I have a four-door sedan, because so when I have kids, I don't have to get rid of my muscle car. I still have both those aspects with me. I can still enjoy myself and I can still have my family in the car with me. So I wanted a car that was fun to drive, that not everybody had access to, not everybody's going to have when you see on the road. You see a Dodge Charger, you see 100 of them. You see a Dodge Challenger, you see 5 of them in a row. It's just like, I don't want to be like everybody else. I'm not that kind of person. So when I was looking into a car, I wanted to stand out, I wanted to be distinct, and I also wanted to be practical for me, so that I don't have to get rid of it when I start having a family and stuff like that. So for me, it's just optimizing on the opportunity that I had, which was to get some speed and to have a lot of fun with it, and then also continue to have it for as long as I possibly can. So like I said, I had a 1993 GMC Sonoma, 5-speed manual, had a 1.8 4-cylinder in it. You know, I drove it like it was a Ferrari, but it definitely was not. And didn't have AC in the car. You know, there was no AC in the car, and we live in Florida, so you can always put 2 and 2 together there. And obviously there was a leak in the windows, and it rains in Florida. So, you know, it was just always an everyday adventure when I woke up. What are we going to get today? So I drove that for all through my high school career, and then once I got out and got a job, I got a practical 4-door sedan. I was driving a Toyota Camry for a while, so not much of a pickup there, more of a cleaner car. And then, like I said, when I finally really got on my own and started making my own money, I started looking for what was something that I wanted. You know, it's kind of like what was there before, and now I could go out and get exactly what I wanted, and this is exactly what I wanted. I think that's the most appealing thing to me, is that when you look at it, it's like, oh, that's a really nice car, and then it's really, really loud when I go right past it. So that's the thing I love about it the most, is that people don't know what it is, and that it stands out in a crowd. I mean, what makes it a Holden is it was built in Elizabeth, Australia. I mean, that's what the planet came out of. All Chevy did was slap some Chevy badges on it. Everything is tuned the same, engine setup is the same. There is no difference in the car. So in my mind, it's an Australian-built car with an American-made muscle engine. Most of the guys that I've dealt with are older. I mean, most of these people have families. That's why they're kind of like, this is why they have the car that they have. I've always just been a planner and someone that's proactive in planning what the next step is. And I just always found these cars were beautiful. And I don't think they ever look at me like, oh, that's a young guy. I obviously am a lot younger than most of them, but they don't treat me any differently like that. They've welcomed me full arms. You know, what's the next step? Like, what is your next mod? Like, what do you want to do next? And they're just more of an encouraging factor than anything, and not more of a discouraging. So they're just a great community of people to work with. What mods we have on the car right now, it's really, really simple. All I have is axle backs on the car. Solar Performance axle back, so we cut the muffler off. It's a muffler delete, resonator delete. It's got a J-pipe in the back to keep the growl down at a high speed on the interstate, so it still sounds really good when you punch it. But at the same time, it's not annoyingly loud when you're just driving and trying to have a conversation with somebody in the car. So it sounds really good in my opinion right now, but what we have coming forward, I just ordered last week, was a full Cooks exhaust. So we got a full Cooks 7/8 long tube headers coming in. It's going to cut off those the OEM ones. We have an X-pipe and mid-pipe coming in as well, which is going to weld to the axle backs that we have on the car now. So it's going to be a true straight pipe coming from long tube headers, which is really going to make the car come alive. And then also when we do that, we're going to get a tune. I get a dyno tuned, get it really spot on to where it needs to be, and we have also with the Cooks package we have a RotoFab cold air intake coming in as well. So we're going to optimize it to the fullest. My goal with the car is to keep it as stock looking as possible, but to make the engine as live as possible without people really realizing it. So me personally, I just want to make it fast to a point and get a baseline and then keep it there. For me, I want to drive this car for a really long time. I don't want to mod it out to the point something's going to rupture or a piston's going to fly out. That's just not really where I want to be at. I just want to have a good time with the car and enjoy doing it. I've been doing a lot of research. I've been, like just talking with people, like what would be the next, the big thing. And I think honestly, I might shy away from an American-made car. I think I think, you know, obviously there's still performance four-door sedans. I mean, you have the Charger SRT, but I'm just not a Mopar guy myself, so it's just, I don't think I would go down that road. But I mean, I've been swayed by my colleagues and other people that maybe foreign is the way to go, so I might look into that. They are beautiful cars. They perform very well. They're just a little bit more expensive. So we will see when we cross that bridge. But maybe I still want to get a four-door sedan. Still want to be practical with the car. So there's a lot of options when it comes to that. BMW does a great job with that. Mercedes, Audi. I mean, they just make a beautiful car. So it's just probably something in that line. I don't have something specifically pinpointed, but it's probably something in that genre right there.